Minecraft is generally a pretty stable game, where you place and break blocks and sort of do whatever the heck you want. Even when playing old versions, most people don't really go too far out, so they don't notice anything wrong. It's kind of a shame though, because at high distances, things would break in really cool ways. The most infamous of these is the Farlands, which is a terrain generation bug that would spawn 12 million blocks from the center of the world. In these older versions, there are also things like an exponentially increasing world rendering offset that would double every time you doubled your distance from the center of the world. There's also a world border at 32 million blocks, where if you tried to stand on it, you would just fall through the world and into the void, because chunks past here are completely intangible and you can't interact with them in any way. Another cool thing past this is the Fartherlands, which is another set of Farlands that generate roughly 1 billion blocks from spawn. However, if you try to go to 2 to the 31 minus 1 blocks, or the 32-bit integer limit, the game would instantly crash because it cannot comprehend numbers that high. However, thanks to a little-known mod, we can go past this limit and venture out all the way to the 64-bit limit. So, the first noticeable long-distance effect after this is the biome overflow, which starts at 2 to the 35 blocks, where grass and sand stop generating in these long strips. Starting at 2 to the 36 power, and every exponent after that, the chunks which you spawned in would actually start repeating themselves. However, things start to get interesting at 2 to the 48 blocks from spawn, where you might start noticing a jitter effect as you're walking. This is caused by a loss of mathematical precision, and because of how Bedrock Edition is coded, it actually becomes noticeable at 2 to the 19th power. This also affects things like block rendering and hitboxes, which now makes it possible to fall through the world and into the void. This precision loss doubles as you double your distance from the spawn point, and as you keep doing that, block rendering starts to be affected, as in grass becoming two-dimensional, and moving on the ground at all becomes physically impossible. Now, you may be wondering, what about the stripe lands in Bedrock Edition? Well, they're a product of this as well, and they occur at 2 to the 24 in Bedrock Edition, or 16 million blocks from spawn, so where would they happen in Java Edition? Well, they occur at 2 to the 53. We are now quadrillions of blocks from the spawn point and at the end of normal block rendering. If we double our distance again to 2 to the 54, block rendering becomes two-dimensional, and if we double it again, the gaps between each block just keep getting wider and wider. This all happens on both axes, by the way, so you can get some weird shapes in the corner stripe lands, and you can also get this weird combination of stripe lands and slice lands, where part of these slice lands are cut off. While we're at ungodly distances in one direction, if we go to 2 to the 54 in both directions, block rendering becomes completely one-dimensional in the corner slice lands, so you just can't see a thing. Oh yeah, remember the Farlands? Well, they exist all the way out here, for the same reasons that the normal Farlands do, but generating at their 64-bit respective coordinates, which is roughly 53.9 quadrillion blocks from the center. I can also get rid of the visual effects of the stripe lands, and now you can witness the Farlands in their true form. I can also go the same distance in both directions, and go to the corner Farlands, which are actually pretty repetitive for some reason, but they look mostly the same to their 32-bit counterparts. Now, while I'm hundreds of light years from the spawn point, there isn't too much going on except for some general detail degradation and other glitches with mineral spawning. And just like the 32-bit limit without this mod, if you try to teleport to the 64-bit limit, roughly 9.22 quintillion, the game will immediately crash when it tries to take you there and render anything at that distance. Oh, and just in case you were wondering, I checked the Nether and the End, and all the things I've listed here also happen there as well.